Here we are on day 3, and I am going to cut the form out today in detail, probably sand it down as well. And one of the things I wanted to check before I did it, and I'm glad I did, was I created this template based on the templates in the book, and then I made a half template just so I had everything symmetric, made it out of this plastic. And I wanted to check that against a template that was in the book, this template A, and it's different. And in fact, the template that I made matches the form templates that were in the book, but this template A seems a bit off. So I'm going to disregard that and just use the template for the C bouts based on this diagram, which I copied onto this template. So hopefully that'll work out. We won't know until actually the violin is completely done. The basic form is done now, at least cut out. There are a few edges where I'm going to have to glue the blocks in that I need to square up a bit, because the 1/8 inch bandsaw, I had a hard time cutting very straight lines. So just square them up a bit, and then look for some wood to cut out the blocks that go in these corners in the bottom of the top. Now that I've got the form cut out, the next step is to cut the blocks that go into the corners, at least the corners, and I'll do the end pieces in a little bit as well. The corner pieces are supposed to be 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 by I think it's 1 1/2, and they call for close-grained spruce or pine. I don't have either one of those that I know of, but I do have what I believe is basswood. Anyway, it's fairly light, and I don't know about close-grained. I may have to pick another piece of wood. At any rate, so I need to cut those out. Well, so that didn't go so good. The wood that I tried to cut for the corner blocks on the form turned out to be quite hard, and wouldn't have worked for carving later on. So I went and bought some spruce. Unfortunately, the only spruce that I could find was 16-foot length of 2x4. It appears to be pretty close grained, so I'm going to cut the blocks out of that. Well, this is where I'm at so far. It's been a little harder than I'd expected. The blade that I have in the table saw was still smoking. It's a carbide tip blade, but it was still smoking, ripping through even this soft spruce. Anyway, I've got 2 more blocks to cut out, and then I've got to smooth this down before I draw the pattern for the corners onto it. The corner and end blocks are cut out now, and I'm ready to tack glue them down to the bottom piece of the form, which is the MDF piece. Okay, that's it for today. It's glued and clamped, and let that dry overnight, and tomorrow we'll plane it down to the same thickness as the top, and then mark the curves on the blocks we just put in, and then cut them out.